You know, right at the very beginning of Bitcoin, this technology that would pretty much change the world, its creator hid a secret, a message locked away in the very first block of code. So today, we're going to go on a hunt for that secret. Let's unravel this digital mystery together. Okay, so our whole investigation kicks off with this really mysterious invitation to look behind the chapter. What does that even mean, right? It feels like the first step on a path to uncovering some kind of hidden truth.
And, well, that's exactly what we've got here, a genuine digital mystery. We're not just staring at lines of code. No, we're trying to solve a puzzle left behind by one of the most anonymous figures in modern history, the one and only Satoshi Nakamoto.
But what does that even mean, to look behind the chapter of a digital currency? It's a huge hint, right? It tells us that the real story isn't just lying there on the surface. We've got to dig deeper, way past the code and the currency, to find the clues that are hidden below. So you know how it goes. Every good mystery has a trail of clues, and this one is no different. We've actually got a few key pieces of evidence to look at. Let's start with the one that's the most cryptic. All right, check this out. Our first piece of evidence is this page of handwritten symbols. I mean, it looks like some kind of complex cipher, right? A secret code just filled with these bizarre characters. You look at this and you think, this has to be it, a secret message painstakingly encrypted.
But what if it's not? You know, in a lot of investigations, the most obvious clue, it turns out to be a distraction, a red herring, just designed to send you down the completely wrong path. And while this cipher is totally fascinating, our other evidence, it points in a completely different direction.
Yeah, that other direction, it points towards the news. There are all these hints of a connection between Bitcoin's origins and media headlines. Now, this is a crucial pivot. It suggests the answer isn't in some made-up code, but in a real-world event.
And that right there, that brings us to the centerpiece of our whole mystery, the place where all the clues finally come together. We are talking about the very first digital stone in the entire foundation of Bitcoin. This is what's known as the Genesis block. Seriously, think of it like the digital bedrock of the entire Bitcoin network. It's block 0, the one that every single other block comes from. I mean, if you were going to hide a secret anywhere, it would be right here, at the very, very beginning. So it turns out the secret wasn't in some cryptic, handwritten note after all. Nope, it was right here, buried in the raw hexadecimal code of the Genesis block itself. Can you believe it? Hiding in plain sight this whole time, just waiting for someone to come along and translate it. Okay, so after all that searching, after following all the clues, what did this code actually say? What was the secret message that Satoshi Nakamoto embedded right at the dawn of this brand new technology?
It was this. This is the secret. A newspaper headline, taken word for word from the print edition of The Times of London, dated January 3, 2009. The Times 03/Jan/2009. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks.
So the really crucial thing to get here is that this wasn't just some placeholder text or a random string of characters. No way. This was a deliberate choice. A very specific headline from a very specific day embedded forever into the blockchain. And the big question is, why? And see, understanding why Satoshi chose this particular message, that's the real key to this whole mystery. This wasn't just a fun little piece of trivia. It was a clear, unmistakable statement of purpose. So this message, it really has 3 distinct meanings. First off, it's a timestamp. Right? By including a headline from that specific day, it proves the block couldn't have been created before January 3, 2009. Pretty clever. Second, it's a really powerful statement. I mean, think about it. Bitcoin was launched right in the middle of a global financial crisis, and this headline is a direct shot, a commentary on the failing centralized banking system that Bitcoin was designed to be an alternative to. And finally, it's a symbol. It perfectly demonstrates the power of the blockchain to store information forever, with zero chance of it ever being altered or erased. So when you put all that together, you really start to see the magic of what behind the chapter actually means. It's a message from a critical moment in our history, now permanently and, immutably etched into the very DNA of a technology that was designed for the future. And that leaves us with one last really fascinating question to think about. As we're building the next generation of technologies that are going to shape our world, what messages, what values are we embedding in their foundations? What are future generations going to find when they decide to look behind the chapter of the code that we're writing today?